I tell you how the slide came about. I've always had an inherent fear of earthquakes. I've been in a couple in my time around the world, and the thought of the earth trembling beneath me. There's a wonderful book, I think, called The Earth is Trembling or something, and I used a bit of that for research. And it always occurred to me how awful it would be. People always say, well, it's not here, it's there. But I'd always said to myself, what happened? What would happen if it happened in England? But then I said, no, it's ridiculous, you can't have earthquakes in England, until I did my research. And it was not until some years later, actually, after the slide, that, again, my friend David Spencer and myself, with our own company, we were going to do a program called Earthquake UK. And we had the cooperation of the Royal Seismological Society, I think, in Edinburgh. And they told us how many earthquakes there are in the UK each day. There are earth tremors. They take place all the time. And even at the time of writing the slide, I realised that earth tremors take place on the seabed in the English Channel. Now, I wonder how many people know that the Channel Tunnel has been made earthquake-proof, which it has. I never knew that, but I discovered. So at that particular time, I decided that it's a way of getting fears, your own personal fears, out of your system. And that's how the slide came about. I'm glad I did it because, so many people wrote to me, and I had wonderful, wonderful letters from blind people, which was extraordinary. A blind school girl who wrote from a blind school said she and her friends listened to it and they were absolutely terrified by it and said that this is what radio should be about, which is very sweet. It was the first time I'd worked with Miriam Margolyes, but then Miriam, of course, you see, was on the BBC Drama Repertory Company in those days, and so she was in a lot of people's plays. But it was the first time I realised what an absolutely incredible person she is, not only as an actress but as herself, and absolutely lovely to work with because she's enormous fun. But the one thing one must remember about Miriam is what a highly, highly intelligent woman she is. She really knows. And it was later on when David Spencer and myself had our television company, we were going to do a documentary program about her own one-woman show, which was called Dickens Women. Now, Miriam is a great expert on Charles Dickens. She's done several of the feature films, including Little Dorrit. And she was, I think, the earlier Little Dorrit with Alec Guinness. But if you talk to Miriam, you're not talking to a fool. You're talking to someone who knows her business. She's a reader. She knows about literature. And what is so wonderful is she loves Dickens. And I was very, even in those early days, I was very proud to have her in it, even though it was only a very cliched sort of role for her. But it was still a part of the plot. Yes, Miriam's great fun, and I love working with her.